but I had a chance to talk to her, and she's a notable, good liberal lady, lives in Canada, and it's like, what was interesting is, so I'm trying to converse with her about meaningful topics, and she derails it because she's not feeling it, right? And it's like, it's an interesting function that I discovered, which is it you won't even be able to cause the conversation to be properly aired if they don't feel it,
Correct.
that you're okay. So you
Correct.
have to virtue signal that you're okay, which is that because she was all on about the wealth discrepancy, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because it totally derailed my conversational thread. And I'm like, okay, I had to process that information, which is, how do you make it so she understands that it's okay to talk to me because I agree with you? We're in agreement, right? The only question is, what do you do about it?
Correct.
It's the difference. And it's like, so, but it's like to cause it's the initial resonance has to be correct so that the person can listen to you.
Correct. You have to meet them on their ground.
Otherwise, they presume you to be in the bad people box.
Right.
And they don't want to talk to people that are from the bad people box.
Well, again, it's we forget that we are talking about distributions and they're talking about lines.
Wait, they're talking about what?
We always see distributions,
right?
In other words, bell curves, and they always see lines. In other words, we see the middle of the bell curve and they see the fringes.
Right.
Right. And so whenever you're talking to them, they just revert to you're a bad person versus whether something's true or false. Or
Right.
desirable versus undesirable versus true or false. So instead of talking at the level, what we would say as the general level, you have to make it at their level, which is specifics. And so what you do is say, well, which is what you have there. So, well, so what would we do about it? Well, then people will do this, right? Well, then so that people should, but how do you make them do that? Their incentive is to do this. Now, your incentive is to do this because you're in this position, but now go live in that position. What's your incentive? You have to do it via negativa. You can't try to show them a statue because they don't like the aesthetic. You have to basically carve away. You have to eliminate their means of avoiding the truth.
I see.
And so most of our proposals would satisfy most people, but you can't get to where you can propose which are really center-right proposals, or center-right propositions until you've eliminated center-left positions, right, and hard-left positions. You can't get there until because that's the way they need to be informed. They need to be informed by it's not possible behaviorally. It's the same. It's the elaborate version I tell people of whenever you're talking to your wife or women, you never say that's wrong. You say, I can't do that. I can't make it happen. Right? I mean, you never tell a woman she's wrong or that her taste is bad or that she's misinterpreting something. You always say, you always work on the operational.